Hello, YouTube. It's 5:37 p.m. Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022. As I expected, today was going to be some high drama. I'm dealing with it the best I can. What the hell? Oh, wow. At the that person's parked kind of far from the curb. Holy crap. God, it was a tag from my safety vest pushing on my neck. Weird. I wasn't going to go into work today, but I changed my mind. I put in a request for vacation time. I didn't even have enough vacation. I don't understand how I have so little vacation time stored up, but I thought Amazon gave more vacation time than what I got. But anyway, I had, because I've mentioned I'm pretty much out of PTO. I mean, I'm not too worried about getting fired over time. I've actually got quite a bit of UPT racked up. But anyway, sorry, my brain isn't thinking very clearly. It's been a really, really rough day, whatever. You know, my mornings and days are all twisted. Wow, skateboarder, cool. Nice. That was a one wheel. That was awesome. Sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I thought the way vacation worked with Amazon A to Z, the HR app, was that you just had to put in for it a certain amount of time ahead of when your when your shift was, like 2 hours, 4 hours, something like that. Usually, like I know whenever it's been like when something's come up and I'm like, shit, I'm not going to make it to work on time. It's never been an option because I knew it was less time than what I needed to do that. But anyway, after I got in, so anyway, let me backtrack to the last video. I got home and saw that, was really shocked to see that Priscilla's vehicle was no longer parked behind my place. And we had quite the exchange of text messages. Like, she finally starts texting me back when I'm at work. And I just, at that point, I just kind of unloaded and you know, again, well, where's my cat? And of course, she's insisting they're her cats. Well, you know, I guess possession is, like I say, possession is 9/10 of the law. She's got them. Her justification is that, oh, well, I've been taking care of them all this time. Yeah, you've been taking care of them because you never leave. Because you've turned my daughter's bedroom into your messy ass workplace. So you're there all the fucking time. You never leave, except when you leave to go shack up with somebody else for the night. And they're gone for a couple days. Other than that, you never leave. So of course you're the one there taking care of them, because fuck, at least do something. God knows you don't fucking clean. At least feed the goddamn cats. And I gotta deal with the cats. I've always told the cats, hey, when she disappears for 2 days, I feed you. And whenever she'd been gone for 2 days, I fed them. And occasionally when the cat box got to a point I just couldn't fucking deal with anymore, I'd clean that as well, because God knows she fucking neglected the shit out of that. It's like she does the kitchen and everything else. And let's not forget me. Neglects the shit out of me. Anyway, So anyway, in the text messages I got from her, I'm sure I mentioned this like real briefly in passing, but this trip for her to Atlanta was supposed to be to visit her dad for his birthday, and that's a noble cause, But I haven't been able to go visit my mom for her birthday in many years because I don't have money for that kind of travel because I have to work and keep a roof over my head. But, Priscilla just expects that I'll do that for her so she can piss all that money away and go see her dad. Thanks for showing me how fucked your priorities are. And maybe I might feel differently about that if she was actually, helping me out with rides to work and back when my cars broke down. So I'm not doing all this walking by myself and talking to myself, right? And maybe I'd feel differently about it if when I got home, I came home to a clean apartment and not the disgusting mess she's turned my apartment into. And when I came home to a lover that was there and giving, like the few days when I came home to Crystal, as opposed to somebody who's on my couch, sleeping in a disgusting mess, fully clothed, that says, don't touch me, if I actually touch her. Yeah, and maybe I might feel differently about wanting to be, more supportive of her in general. But anyway, so anyway, about the time I got home after I ended the video, that's when suddenly she started blowing up my Snapchat. Just absolutely started. And mind you, like I'm super late getting home and getting to sleep because of having to run the errands and go to my landlord's place and pay the rent and stuff, because all that stuff takes an extremely long time when you're doing it by bus. And as I mentioned, the ride this morning on the 29 was awful. So I stopped at 16th Street. To be fair, I rode on the 29 twice today. The one I rode from Central Avenue, where I stopped at my bank to make a withdrawal, and Central Avenue to 16th Street. That was great. Like, as I'm walking away from the bank, I saw it on one side of Central, and I did a sketchy run across the intersection of the light rail track to beat the change of the light. Granted, I'm playing, kind of ducking cars, but it's early enough. There's not too terrible much traffic yet, and I made it to the bus stop before she did, crossing Central. So that ride was great. That bus driver was great. Driver was great. The bus driver was great. In fact, she I don't know, probably a backwards compliment, but she did kind of comment on my efforts to get to the bus stop, and then rode that to 16th Street to PLS to get a money order, but it was from 16th Street to 52nd Street. That was awful. Oh my God. So yeah, at 52nd, that bus. Well, for starters, there's more than just that bus, mind you. I mean, I sat down at 16th Street and I look at the bus app. That's what I always do when I'm waiting. Generally, I always do when I'm waiting for a bus. And the next two scheduled buses were not running. Not just the next bus, but the next two scheduled buses. You click on it, and the same thing, the red text saying, live tracking is not available for this vehicle. Yep, because it's not running. So I've waited there quite a while. Now, granted, it's not as long as like how I had to wait for the 44 the other day, or how I had to wait for the 17 last week. It ended up only being about maybe 30 minutes, because that time of the day, the Thomas bus is supposed to have like a 10-minute frequency, but I mean, still, like on a bus that's supposed to show up every 10 minutes, I waited for a freaking half hour. Next to a homeless woman loitering at the bus stop, of course. To her credit, she was actually kind of attractive. I didn't even realize she was a homeless woman until, the bus finally showed up and everybody else who had gathered at that stop got on the bus and she didn't. But anyway, So yeah, the bus stopping and going. Now, I to be fair, I do think the driver was having an actual physical problem with the bus. I don't think he was maybe trying to drive it that jerky and erratic, and it stalled out twice, and he had to restart it. And that's not on the driver. I mean, that's on Phoenix for having such incompetent private contractors that handle these buses, as opposed to actually operating their own bus service like other cities do. That's what that's on. Anyway. But yeah, like we ended up, it ended up getting to 52nd Street super late, and then there was this really grotesque homeless person who kept like standing over me, and she was like so sweaty, and I was worried she was going to get some of that shit on me. She kept leaning over me, and I moved twice just to get away from her. She was just so nasty, and like she's holding a dirty cigarette that looks like she pulled it out of an ashtray in her hand and kind of waving that shit around, and then at one point she like touched my shoulder, and I don't know why, but I'm just like, ma'am, don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me. Yeah, just gross. Anyway, I'm just about to Ross. Yeah, I don't have a lot of time to spare, so I'll explain what happened after I got home and after I woke up today in the next video. My lightning cable that I said has been like not working very well, and kind of have to wiggle it to get it to work. Yeah, the tip finally completely broke off, so I got to get that replaced because my iPhone's at about 8%.